Okay, we're back. This is part 3 of how to set up ball python eggs into the incubator. I'm going to go ahead and make a tub here, an incubation tub for them. And what you see here in the video is the vermiculite that I use. There's lots of other things out there that you can use, including Hatchright, which is a really kind of a foolproof substrate, which works great. But I just use vermiculite, kind of the old-fashioned way, and it works great for me. So you see the label here, and if you want to get some, I get a big, huge bag there, and it only costs like $12. Okay, but I'm going to get some out of here. I'll do all this while holding the camera myself. I was going to take a couple scoops here with the deli cup. And spread it out. Alright, now what I'm going to do is add some water to it. And I really pretty much play this one by ear. I don't go too crazy with measuring the amount of water I put in there. But if you want to find a good ratio until you really get a feel for it, the ratio is 1:1 by weight. So you're going to take and you're going to weigh your vermiculite and put it on a scale, and then put that same weight of water back in there. And you want to get it so it just lightly clumps when you squeeze it, but it doesn't really drip out. Alright, once you get that, you're going to pull it over here. I already have the eggs sitting here. I pulled them out of the tub. And I put a grate. This is like the grate you'd find over fluorescent lighting in the ceiling. You just get it from Home Depot or Lowe's, and I cut it up to fit inside these shoebox tubs. And this basically, all it does is it keeps the eggs from actually touching the substrate. Not that it's a big deal. But if you have this grate over here and your substrate is a little too wet, it's going to keep your eggs from soaking up that moisture like they would if they were actually in the vermiculite. However, if you have your vermiculite the right ratio, you can put your eggs right down in the vermiculite. It's not going to hurt anything. It's fine. I'm actually going to put the eggs over into this box only because I already have had this one in the incubator and it's already warmed up. The vermiculite is warmed up to the right temperature. So I'm going to pick up these eggs here and just slip them in. Right there on top. Kind of move them around a little bit so they're not quite touching the edges of the tub. And here they are. They're set up. Now, see, they're clumped together. I don't make any effort to pull them apart or anything like that. If you pull them apart, if you don't use real good technique with it, not real careful, you can tear the egg, and that would obviously not be a good thing. So also don't rotate the eggs at all. It's not really possible in this situation, but sometimes if you have a free egg, you make sure you put it into the tub the same way the mom left it laying in the bottom of her enclosure. That way, there's an air bubble that forms at the top of each of these eggs, and the yolk settles to the bottom. If you get it rolled over, the yolk can detach from the top of the egg and can suffocate, well, basically kill the embryo as it continuing to grow in the egg. So that's basically it. What I do normally is I'll go ahead and put a cover on here. You see, there's nothing fancy about this cover. It's not airtight or anything. It's going to let it breathe still, but it'll be fine. And I'll label the box with the clutch number, the sire, and the dame, and when it's due. And I'll just stick it over here in my incubator. And I'll show you what that looks like here. I'm trying to do all this with one hand. See the incubator here? It already has 5 clutches of eggs in it. You can find those listed on my website if you want to learn more about them. Up here I just have some empty boxes there just waiting for clutches. Nothing fancy about them. They are just already set at the right temperature, waiting for some eggs to be laid, and I slip them in there. So I'll slip that one in next to it. I got lots of room here. I'll probably end up with around 40 clutches this year, and this thing will be pretty much packed full when it's all said and done. Thankfully they're going to be staggered out, so I'll have stuff hatching, and it'll relieve some of the space. Just a quick shot of the incubator here. I have a heat strip on the front, heat tape, that's keeping it warm. The fan that circulates the air, make sure there's no hot spots, cold spots. I have the whole thing powered by a herpstat here, which basically is a proportional thermostat. It's keeping it within 1/10 of a degree. Very effective. The refrigerator, the old freezer here, it basically keeps it at the perfect temperature with no problems at all. So that is the last video here of how to set up a clutch of eggs, how I do it. I hope you've learned a lot. Feel free to comment, ask me any questions you have. Thanks.